myself. So if you tune in, I'll be talking to myself. And you're welcome to witness and participate. You can talk to yourself whilst I'm talking to myself if you want. I don't know. This is Reginald. He is one of my stuffed toys. Yes, he is. Look, I'm probably gonna pull some cards and stuff, but first, I just wanted to talk and have my hot chocolate, which is over here, which I will get because I want it. But also, I want to pull cards, but I also feel like that's me hiding from talking. I don't know. So anyway, guess what? Oh my god. I was up until like 5:30 in the morning trying to just clean my room. I was just trying to clear off the bed. And I did for the most part. I mean, I've still got like some of my clothes that don't fit in my drawers have to go down the side of the bed. I'm sharing this one bedroom apartment with my housemate, but this bedroom was for me and both of my kids and the eBay business. So we were sharing a set of drawers between us three, and my housemate was using the wardrobe. Yeah. Oh my god. The gossip in the spirit realms this morning is hectic, bro. Apparently, so I don't know if you know who I am, but semi recently this whole thing happened, right? Where I brought out a video talking about this this confusion that I had, this perspective of myself that I had, which I realize now was just of me not understanding a whole bunch of stuff about um, different energies and different emotions and um, dynamics and stuff. Um, but then also just a whole bunch of false beliefs that were told to me by people who were living in fear. Um, so yeah, I had made this whole video about how it's not okay to target people who haven't actually done anything wrong, right? Um, because I had this whole image of myself as being a certain way, but I wasn't, and I never was. And the whole point of the video was to say that I I don't think that that aligns with me because I realized that it was never an issue. But um like that that video when I made it, it was capturing the actual process of recognizing how much that false belief had impacted my life and the way I saw myself and my relationships. And it was a really hard thing to go through at the time. But having the realization that that was never even who I was at all, and it was never a concern at all, um, that was like a huge thing. So, yeah, the video was me processing the fact that I had been told and made to believe these certain things about myself. But then in experiences that I'd have had afterwards and all of the looking within myself, I recognized that wasn't accurate at all. That wasn't accurate at all. They tricked me. they tricked me into thinking something that wasn't true. But now I know the truth, right? But the thing is, when all of that came up and everything, and everyone took it the wrong way, and people edited it, and then the edited versions went viral and everything like that. Um, my ex, who had just told me that he just got a new job to learn how to look after people properly because he intended to marry me and look after me and all of this stuff, right? He just said that the week before all this happened. And then and was still telling my child aspects that he was still their dad and that he still loved them and all that bullshit, right? And then after all this stuff went sideways and people were like spreading the opposite and making me look like the opposite of what I was. Yeah, all my ex had to do was just be like, oh yeah, no, we're aware of the fact that we thought that that was an issue. And if he had watched the video in question, he would have said, oh, like, there's less concern now than there ever was because now she's aware that it's not a thing. I misgendered myself just then. I, at the moment, I feel non-binary, so referring to myself as she felt very strange. But yeah. So, but so my ex, who had like pretended that he, well, I don't know if he pretended that he still loved me or if he pretended that he didn't at all when he started thinking that people were going to see me in a bad way. I don't know. Either way, he could have just said, oh yeah, no, we're aware and it's not an issue and it's never been an issue and it's not a concern and we'll keep an eye on it and it's all good. You know, that's all that he needed to say. But instead, he made himself look like a fucking hero. But then through all of my healing stuff, I recognized how much of a role that he had actually played in the fact that I needed a mental health recovery worker just because of the way that he treated me when we were in a relationship. And I got so burned out that I couldn't do anything, right? I was struggling with so much and I got stuck in a childlike state. And then he was, you know, claiming that he was my father figure and all of that. And things got really not okay. And I didn't realize at the time how inappropriate our relationship was when I was stuck in a child state. But now that all of this has like come up and everything, and his betrayal, like acting like I'm some sort of monster and acting like he's some sort of hero when I was going through the process of realizing that he was not who I thought he was. Yeah. Well, the gossip in the spirit realms today is that apparently people are realizing that the shit that he was saying about me and the picture he was painting about me is not accurate and is a reflection of him. And apparently, see, that's the thing though, because like the gossip in the spirit realms, sometimes it happens before the physical reality catches up. So I don't know if this stuff has happened already or if it's going to be happening soon, but apparently people are turning on him. People who he thought were his friends and who he thought were supporting him. They are kind of, pardon me, they're kind of seeing apparently he had also treated them not the best, and he had been like manipulating people and trying to control people in his social circle. And once they recognized that and recognized that anything he said about me was just kind of not adding up, apparently gossip in the spirit realm is that they're treating him the way that he was trying to get them to treat me, and apparently he's not dealing well with it. So that's the tea, and this is the hot chocolate. It's not very good, but I should probably do some things. My housemate just got back. Alright, let's pull some cards and see what's going on in your life. Potentially. Do you like my onesie? I'm part Pikachu right now. And then I have my Star Wars shorts on. What are we doing? We're doing fairies? I think we're doing fairies. Or mermaids. I don't know, man. I'm feeling mermaids and I'm thinking fairies. What is this? Hang on, let me shut my door. Oh, I set off the tank. It's a tank toy, and it makes noises every time I knock the box. It'll stop, it doesn't. Banana, banana, Elmo's world. Banana, banana, Elmo's world. Why is that in my head? Okay, well, I'm feeling playful and excited and happy. Why is that happening? Okay. Is that a part of the reading? I don't know, let's find out. Alright. This is how I've been doing things lately. I've been pulling a card and then I'm like, this reading is for you if you've been feeling. And then I tune it. So let's do that. Alright. This reading is for you. If you have been feeling. Kind of like you want to get up and try something. Like, it's like you're seeing possibilities and you're kind of like, I want to give that a try. Is that about this? Is that about this right now? You're like, hey man, if this bitch is fucking in a onesie in the bed trying to do readings and shit, maybe I can do that too. Well, yes. Yes, you can. I believe in you. Let's do it. Playful times. Yeah, no, isn't that just me? Wait, no. That's part of the energy, right? I feel like there's so much. I feel like there's so much energy and noise, but it feels like, so it's obviously fish here, right? But like, I'm hearing chirping, a lot of chirping, and so it feels like there's a lot of energy around you that's not yours, but it feels like there's a lot of talking, and it feels like the louder the noise is outside, the more you're able to center within yourself. So it's like, for some reason, I'm getting like, in the past, you would listen to you would listen to the birds, you'd listen to the noises, you'd listen to the chatter, and you'd think about yourself in relation to those, and you kind of think about your self-worth based on what all these people are saying, maybe what all this chatter is saying, right? But then it's like you kind of get to this point where you realize that everything, pretty much everything that other people say out loud is basically just like intrusive thoughts. It's basically, you can treat them just the same as you can treat an intrusive thought. Just be like, the fuck was that? Get the fuck out of here. You know? Like, it's not important, you know? What the fuck is that? So then it's more like understanding that the things that people say external to you, the things that you hear, the things that drift into your awareness, they're basically just things that you would think to yourself. Yeah? So, and judgments only have weight if you put the weight on them. You understand? So, if you, for instance, if you constantly had all of this negative self-talk, but then instead of fighting with yourself and arguing with yourself, you would have a playful banter with the negative self-talk, and then you'd realize that the reason why those aspects of yourself are having that negative self-talk is because there's some sort of an insecurity there. There's something, some wound that needs to be healed, right? So then you wouldn't want to talk mean to that part of yourself. You would want to respond nicely to it, right? And build a better rapport. But then the more that you do that, the more practice you would kind of have. So then you realize, like, when you start to hear negative things from within you and you already have the system of, I know how to deal with this, just talk nicely to it, right? That becomes a habit. So then when other people in the external world come to you with the same shit, you already know how to handle it. And that's the thing, like, you can try and respond to those people nicely, and if they don't respond nicely back, they're not playing and they're not part of this game, and they can fuck right off, because that's not helpful, right? But sometimes that's the lesson. The lesson isn't to fix the people and change them. The lesson is to recognize where your limits are. The fact that you're not supposed to try and control or change someone else. That you can speak kindly to them, and if they're willing to take that, then they can take that. But if they're not willing to take that and they bite back at you, and I guess it really depends on your capacity at the time. Yeah, that really like dictates what you do and how deep in that conversation you get. But that's the thing, like, it's not your responsibility to heal anyone except for your own self, right? So that would no longer be self-care. That would be then shifting on to looking after someone else. But they have to be willing to do the self-care themselves in order to get anywhere. Because if you're relying on someone else to heal you, you're not going to heal. But if someone... To heal, honestly, you just need permission from your own self. Yeah? And then... That's the thing. Like, someone else can give you permission. But if you don't give yourself permission, it doesn't mean anything. If someone gives you permission and you're like, okay, well, they give me permission. That means I have permission and I can do it now. Then, yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. But if you're just like, I don't give myself permission, and then someone's like, well, I give you permission, then you're like, okay, fine, but I still don't want to do it. It's because you're not giving yourself permission, bro. Do something about it. Fucking stop holding yourself back. And you know what? Lighthouse, motherfucker. Been getting a lot of these lately. But for you, this is talking about. This is actually talking about wanting you to see the things in your reality that you can that resonate with you, that you can appreciate. So normally when I would do readings and stuff, it would it would be more about you are the light and find the light within yourself, and then that will show you what you're interested in. But it feels like you've already done that. It feels like you already know that there's a light within you. So the next step for you would be to just find the things in the outside world that match the resonance of the energy that you have within you. Because that is how you find your choice path. And then following that choice path is how you find your people, the people that are going to move with you into your next chapter. And some of them will stay and some of them won't, because that's just what life is. Most people that you meet are just experiences. They're just opportunities to experience yourself and life and understand where you sit with things and how you feel about things. But then that's the thing, like, because if you look externally to find out where you fit before you look internally, you're going to just mold yourself into what you think others expect you to be. That's not what we want to do. It's not what we want to do. It feels like, have you ever, what do you mean? This saying that you have repressed positive energy. What does that mean? Repressed positive energy. So then now I'm getting images of doing or is it Wei Gong or is it Qigong? I don't know. But you're intentionally directing energy up your center through breathwork and visualization. It wants you to do a whole bunch of that today. And allowing your repressed positive energy to come up and move through you. Because apparently there's a whole bunch of repressed positive energy. And I'm seeing an image of the, like, a layer of positive stuff being slathered on top of some negative stuff. So then, because I've been saying some stuff about some repressed rage that I'm not aware of, right? But might be layered under a thick layer of positive things. Interesting. So I wonder if you can relate to that. Because the energy, I got 3 different energies from these 3 different cards, and it's like you were very multidimensional as well. And I'm seeing all these different sides of you where you have a part that is excited and wanting to try something new and kind of like, yay. But then feeling slightly timid about it, but more excited, you know? So then there's that energy. But then there's the energy of looking out and wondering what even is there for me? What even is there for me? Right? But you know that there is something out there. You know. So what is it? What is it that's been in your head that you've been thinking, I really would like to try that, or I wanted to try that when I was younger. I never got around to trying that, you know? Or maybe even the kind of people that you thought that you wanted to be around, but you felt like you weren't good enough, maybe? You felt like you weren't one of them, so you felt like you didn't belong. Um, and then the third energy is more of having the release and having more people around you that are more aligned with your energy and flowing with you, right? But still knowing that all the stuff in the background, all the chatter and stuff, it's it's just a reflection of your internal world, right? So when you're in the state of wanting to do a thing but not having any clarity on exactly what you want to do or how you're going to do it and something like that, then you're that means that you have energy within yourself of being uncertain, and having all of these questions about yourself, your worth, what's going to happen if this happens, that happens, blah 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 blah, right? So then if you sit in the worry of that energy, you're going to attract more chatter around you, more people in the world that would say the same things that would pop into your head and that would speak from the same insecurities to give you a mirror, or would even push those things on you and say, this is how you feel, or this is who you are, and you're not capable, blah, 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 right? But then, ignoring that and recognizing, oh yeah, all of that is just because I must be thinking that part. Like, I must be thinking that to myself. Um, you move on to moving toward the things that you haven't tried that you wanted to try and that you wanted to get more into, and meeting the people that you'll meet through there. You will have already pushed through some levels of insecurity or whatever, and then the people that are there with you would have also pushed through similar insecurities. So then the chatter that you will hear around that would still be mirroring stuff that is internal to you. And that is the way that reality works. Reality is a mirror. Everything that people, every negative thing that people say to you, it's an invitation for you to clear false beliefs out of yourself, which goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video. Yeah. Um, there's actually a lot of depth within you that you haven't discovered yet. And I guess that makes sense if there's a layer of positivity blocking a whole layer of negativity that hasn't even been looked at yet. But you're never going to become whole unless you do this. So you need to keep finding your path and your people and discovering more about yourself, because there is more to know. There is a lot more to know. And no one could ever know you unless you know yourself first. Understand? So dig deep, because there is a lot. There is some stuff, man. And it comes out as like beautiful poetic storytelling also. It really does feel like, in uncovering those levels of yourself, it feels like swimming in darkness. Yeah, bitch. I went through this not that long ago, where I had kept getting the image of darkness, and I wanted to merge with the darkness. I wanted to dive into the darkness, but the darkness isn't like evil or anything. It's just the space that holds us. It's the space that moves reality around us to match our will, if we have a good relationship with it, you know. um the darkness is the part that held the most pain, and to hold that much pain you have to have a huge capacity for love, which means that darkness that was holding all of those things was holding them in a space of love. Wow. I just got the image of like visualizing. So, stating the intention, I allow the love of the darkness to permeate the painful energies and memories and cleanse it. And then I'm seeing the energy starting to flow through it. And the energy that builds from that exchange, it's creating a pressure. It's creating a pressure underneath the layer of positive stuff. So, oh my goodness, that's cool. So instead of allowing all the happiness to come out and then allowing all the sadness to come out and being like a roller coaster of emotions, it's kind of going to be more balanced. And so it'll be all of the happiness at first, yes, but then all of the sad, dark, dense things that were in there before, they're not going to have the same energy of torment. They're going to be soothed, and they're going to be energized. um but the energy around it that was generated from that cleansing, um it feels like it keeps trying to merge and refuse and cleanse, and it's just creating more pressure. So I feel like if you don't let yourself get a whole bunch of happy energy out over the next few days, intentionally let yourself be, first intentionally do that exercise where you're breathing and visualizing positive energy moving up and then spreading it around you like a bubble. For some reason, my brain was like, don't say bubble, because we don't want to enclose this. For some reason, we don't want to enclose this. No, we don't want this circulating. No, it needs to be more like an umbrella. And it will down, and the ground can take that shit up. Yes. But so if you do this, and you visualize that energy merging through, feel the pressure building of, let yourself express happiness and breathe the energy through, breathe the energy through. You might end up having some repressed memories pop up, and hopefully you won't be too emotional and hard to deal with, because you've already cleansed that energy with the love inside that was holding it. But all of that energy, it wants to be acknowledged. It was being held so long waiting to be acknowledged. It's going to try and get your attention again. And you need to make note of it, acknowledge it, and move on. Because if you don't make note of it and acknowledge it, then it's going to think you still haven't learned the fucking lesson, have you? And then it'll go back into you, and it'll just fester for a while until you have to repeat the process, until like life forces you to repeat the process. Don't do that. Don't do that. No way. I don't know if you were paying attention, but I was saying that I got this keyword a few weeks ago, and I was saying it's going to be a huge part of your future, and this word's going to pop up 3 times, and then you'll know that it's super relevant. And then since that day, I've been seeing the word magic every single fucking day. I just fucking split the deck and it says magic. It's like, oh really? Well, that's today's magic for the day. Yes. And gratitude. By the way, this morning I spent the first, I don't know, like 20-30 minutes being awake. Oh, when I say this morning, I mean like 1:30, because I was up really late. But anyway, yeah, I was lying there being intentionally grateful, showing my gratitude. I often forget to connect with the universe and with God in the morning, you know? And when I think about it, I do it. And I think about how grateful I am for everything that I have. I mean, how many people don't have a roof over their heads right now? Mm-hmm. How many people don't have food in the fridge? You know, how many people don't have warm blankets and heating? How many people don't have a level of self-love that gets them through shit that other people would kill themselves over, you know? You know? I'm just grateful for myself and everything that I've done for me. Man, I'm great. No, but everyone needs to have gratitude for themselves. Seriously, 100%. Bro. Move forward, Madalika. Do it, bitch. Sorry. I don't want to pull cards anymore. I'm done with that for the day. That's probably not true. I'm done with that for the moment. What else are we gonna do? I'm not here for your entertainment. What the fuck am I doing here? I'm here for my entertainment. I find myself very amusing. If I were to stop recording right now, what would I do? Drink. Drink my drink. Fish? What do you mean? We're just hanging out now. Just be alive for like hours. Just be like, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna be so entertaining by not doing anything. Num. Okay, if I wasn't recording right now, what would I do? Because I don't. Because I want to treat you the way that I would treat anyone if they were here with me. I think my housemate just went on the PS5. Otherwise, I would have taken you to play Fortnite with me. They've got okay. All right, update on Star Wars Droid Tycoon. No one gives a fuck, but that's what's happening. This is my channel, bitch. Okay, so there's an event right now on Star Wars Droid Tycoon where they have a fusion machine, and I don't. It seems like something that they should probably just add as a permanent fixture in the game. To be completely honest. But I was so excited about it. I jumped on really early this morning because I don't know, I was up because I was cleaning my room and then I wanted a little break, so then I jumped on. That's what happened. Anyway, and that's what happened. Anyway, and then, what the fuck was I gonna say? Yep. And I was like, 20 minutes until the event starts. That's fucking awesome. Okay, so then I was really excited about it. And then I did the washing. And then I had a shower. And then I came out. And then I forgot that I was playing Fortnite. And I asked my housemate, "Were you playing Fortnite?" Because he doesn't play Fortnite anymore. And he's like, "No, you were." And I was like, "What?" And then I totally remembered the event thing, and it had already been 20 minutes. And I was like, "Oh, damn, okay." Like, damn, okay. So I jumped on. And then, so if you fuse 3 of the same droid at the same level, you get the next level up, but it just fuses into 1, right? Some fusions I discovered were not worth it. But there are new droids that you have to fuse to create. And I have not had much luck. I've fused like 3 things together, but none of it made anything worth having. I don't know. And one of them was like really depressing because I mixed a couple of really cool things with a not cool thing, and then it came out with something lame that I could have just bought, and I was like, "Gay, gay." Yeah. So anyway, I still haven't figured out how to use the Dyson, the astrology and self-care thing. It says astrology and self-care, but I mean, is it? Because I would have thought that a deluxe box set that claimed to be a self-care item would have a section that you could fill out for progress on self-care goals and stuff like that. Is that what I need? Is that what I need? Yeah. I need that. That's what I need. Like, is this box even necessary? I'm gonna get rid of the whole box because it takes up lots of room. I just need the cards and the dice in the book, but I don't want them to be separated. Gosh darn it. Yeah. Bruh. Interesting. Look, I'm gonna put that down because I don't want to read about my star sign right now. Why not? Oh, true. Because yeah, I'll do that later. Graham. I'll play with toys. I will play with toys. God. It feels like the child authors are wanting to come out a lot today, hey? Alright. I need to go take on board some of the information from that reading because I 100% need to be doing that breathing exercise, and I 100% relate to having the thick layer of happiness and probably something beautifully tormented underneath, and we need to write about it. Anyway, whoever the hell you are watching me right now, I love you, but I'm gonna go now. Thank you for jumping on. You can watch the whole video later.